We've been here the whole afternoon. Thank you so much for your active cooperation in this wonderful forum. Thank you all, everyone, to come here as invited to be guest speakers and the audience. Thank you so much for the extraordinary job that has done successfully by MC. She's pretty young, studying in second year, right, in university. So I thank you so much. And I also love the Baby Shark and the performance. So the Baby Shark has been done by the little kids from the kindergarten. They look so lovely. I love them so much. And also the adults for the kind of realistic performance relating to social life of how some families, some students have responded to their English education in a daily basis. So I thank you so much for everyone's attention in this forum. And I think this forum will make the difference among all the events organized by the UFC Kampong Cham province that have been organized so far here and there, most of the times in 2019. And I think most of you joined the events a lot, or maybe some of you might join the forum by UYFC in the English language here. We all speak English for the first time. So thank you very much for your participation in this forum. So give ourselves a big round of applause together. Thank you. And I also thanks Dr. Kamsul, the Director of Provincial Health Department, for providing us the comfortable hall for the English Forum today. Even though this extraordinary forum has passed at this moment, the experience that you learn from it might help you to learn better in some way, especially for those who did this job for the very first time. Now, the speakers, can you please tell me again who did this job for the very first time? Can you raise your hands up? The first time to be speaker? Okay. But anyway, we've learned a lot from you, so thank you so much for your extraordinary jobs as being speakers. So give a big round of applause to these excellent speakers again. Thank you. I think you might be a little jumpy or excited before you came here as a speaker, right? Yeah. You've made the excellence through speaking your topics today, and you've shown us not only the ability and skills for your English, but also the courage, determination, and the value of your personal leadership on the job you've done today. And I think these speaking young students might be the great example for those who will follow in the future. And I also thank Mr. Sijun for your heartfelt facilitation to make this forum happen, providing this great opportunity to all the speakers here and the audience here to enjoy our forum for the English language here. So give ourselves a big round of applause too. One of the speakers is a lovely daughter, Rapai, a very small kid. I want to especially thank you so much for your outstanding job today, even though you seem to be a little bit scared. But actually, you did the best job today because this is the first time. I hope you will improve the skills of being the guest speakers the next time and the forum. So there will be the second chance. We have a lot of second chances in our life. So try that. And I also thank my wife, wonderful caring mom, to this lovely daughter, and the helpful little boys for lending Papa a helping hand all the way from her first practice speaking at home before she came here. I also thank you so much, all the distinguished guests and participants from the UYFCs, from the universities and the private schools for the cordial participation and active cooperations in this forum. Your honorable presence today shares us the values of extensive contribution to promoting and inspiring education in our province, our community. And this is one of our critical ways to prepare for the better future of the young students like you. So I hope you will become the best future of this country in the future. We organize the forums today because we understand that you, the young generation of Cambodia, share the common challenges, interests, and needs in this globalization era. Therefore, today's forum is one of the pragmatic responses and creative tools that can help you make good decisions for this country in the future by giving you a chance of being a speaker in this forum. So today, the world is getting interconnected and interdependent. Things are going faster. The process of business and education is becoming easier and simpler with new technology, and this requires to be nimble for whatever we do. The forum we are doing at this time is intended to push you to see and sense the bigger world with your English language. The capacity that you have from yourself, that you learn from your schools, here and there, everywhere. But not only English language, but also the other foreign languages like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, French, or the other languages that you may learn to enrich your educational opportunity not only inside Cambodia, but also beyond our borders away. That means you have your free options to choose the way to pursue your education, whether you want to do it in Cambodia or you want to do it abroad. Because you have a lot of scholarship programs, or you may seek to stand for any given opportunities of educational opportunities in Cambodia from here. Some of you might want to go to study abroad in Australia, in the United States of America, in Canada, or anywhere in the world. You can do that. And as I speak for the final session of this forum, I want to discuss with you how you can make the power from your education and how you can use that power to change yourself, your family, your community, your society, and develop a strong nation, sustain national peace and pride for the future generations of Cambodia. Now, some of you come from high schools. I think most of you from the universities. Well, I could say that you guys, the future generations, come in greater opportunities than me compared to when I was in the same age as you, back to some 30 years ago. Now you have mobile phones in every hand, enjoying Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, or any other apps. Back to my young age, if I want to talk or to find someone, I needed to walk or to ride a bicycle so that I could meet you. And I think you can imagine how tough the way of communication was at that time, but we had no choice. We had to do that. And now it's amazing for you in this generation, in the technology era. You might feel you are luckier, or you seem to have more fun than me compared to when I was 30 years ago, but not yet until you get to your goal of your education. There are a lot of challenging tasks awaiting for you on the way of your education. And the success of your life depends on how high and how great your education is. So you must get the best education so that you can clear away all the setbacks and areas along the way of your education until your successful goal is reached. And you must be ready for this. But we have the principle to help you get it. You know what? Memorizing the best principle doesn't make you get it. You need to take action from small to big, from the bottom to the top, from good to great. And you need to learn from all failures and mistakes and start doing things differently the next time you try, again and again. So don't be afraid when you make mistakes, and don't be scared when you fail. On the journey of life, you try and you fail, and then you try again and you fail again. That's okay. The real failure is when you stop trying. So don't let failure define who you are. Let it teach you so that you can do things more wisely in the future. So to some of you sitting here in this forum might be wondering why these speakers can do the best jobs today, this afternoon. Some of them got it very first time before hundreds of people in the magnificent hall, such as my daughter. She did for the first time, and she got it to the end. I highly appreciate her talent so much. But the real is that since the first time of her practice, she got in many troubles, worries, scared, anxiety, and so on. But because she refused to give up and she practiced many times with the supporting family, and that's it. And she finally got it. She could finally do it. So that's right. She's my daughter. She can do it. So from the story of my daughter, I want to tell you that practice doesn't make you the best speakers. Only the best practice that makes you the best speaker. If you want to get something best of whatever you do, you need to follow this principle too. You have to do the job several times before it's finally done well. Being a student, I know it's never easy to do well in class. And that's why you must work every day to get as best academic records as possible. So you need to get the best things out of from your work, like the test score, the group work challenge, and the physical education activity. So the truth is, you don't need to necessarily expect the perfect result of the new job you try for the first time, because you become good at one thing through hard work and practice day by day. And yet, you don't need to work alone for this very hard job. So you find the people you trust the most to help you learn and do things better on the way of your education. They include your parents, your friends, your teachers, your principals, or even your governments. Ask them for support when you have problems and when you are willing to work well on the way of your education. And then the rest is your own responsibility to define who you are, what you want to do, and how optimistic you are in tackling the problems, and how excellent you want to be on the way of life, on your education. Now, you might feel a little nervous at the beginning of this school year. I know how you feel. Let me be clear. Going to the school or university is just the beginning, and graduating is still the first step of the life on your education. That is the first step to reach your successful life. But you need to ensure your further education for you can build the better life in the future. Some of you might be in difficulty in taking on extra responsibilities to help your poor parents at home for a better living so that you can go to school. And some of you might be living surrounded by the negative neighborhoods where you never notice anyone going to school for a better life. And some of you might not be ready for setting your own goals in life. And then you don't know what you're going to do after graduating. That's okay, because these are the common challenges that I faced, and I'm glad to share with you my experience here. The most important thing is that you pledge to yourself and decide what you want to achieve after all. It depends on what path of life you want to stay on to meet your goal. When you become successful, I ask you to do the same thing. I ask you to help the others to get it too. But there's one thing that you need to remember about the current world. You are living in the global economy. Things are amazingly sophisticated because you have the internet and technology. Living in the 21st century, you need to adapt yourself to a new trend of cultural diversity and work in collaboration or even in a competitive setting to make what type of life you want. The smartphones that you have in hands will help you learn better, but only if you know the way how to use them in the right way. If you're on the right way on how to use it, then your successful life is near. Your successful goal will be rich because you live in a modern world with new technology. But remember, if you want to get that done in your life, you need to get the best education in your life, from the kindergarten up to primary schools, secondary schools, high schools, universities, or even the short-term training programs. The person with high knowledge and specific skills and clear goal can not only make things happen, but what happens might also changes the whole society and the whole world. Think about some young Cambodian entrepreneurs like Mr. Prasatira. I know probably some of you might ever heard of him. He started to learn from why some people became disabled, and then he could finally invent the first automatic demining machines that the world has ever known in human history. Demining machines, the machines that take the mine from the underground automatically. Think about a group of young technologists who have worked really hard and finally invented the first ever brand new laptop computer called Compi, and it's open software at a low price. Some of you might want to be a teacher, a writer, researcher, engineer, a doctor, or a government officers in high office, or even the prime minister of this country. Or some of you might want to start your own business. Believe me, all the times you can achieve that goal. But no matter what goal you choose, you've got to take good education. That's the only way you must do to reach out your goal, and there's no excuse for leaving the education behind. And there's no excuse for not trying. You may learn from the success stories of some American entrepreneurs like Mr. Bill Gates, the co-founder of the Microsoft company, and the Steve Jobs, the innovator of the technology of iPod and iPhone. They didn't finish their college, and they faced a ton of challenges before they became successful in life. But because they remained true to themselves and disregard the education, their achievements now are changing the whole world, the way people work, entertain, and solve the common problems by using the technology. And how about you? The success story of you in this generation isn't about failing and moving backward when things get tough. but it's about how you keep going forward when you fall down on your way. We rise or fall together as one people and as one nation. If you quit, it doesn't only mean you quit on yourself. It also means you quit on your country. Why a man whose parents didn't have money to pay for their son's extra education in 30 years ago and rejected his request to quit can now stand before you as a vice governor to this beautiful province. I wouldn't be able to stand here speaking to all of you without the hard work and the passionate succor from all my eminent teachers and professors from the general education to the postgraduate. And at this time, I'd like to extend my deep gratitude to those who spent their time in their life not only teaching me English, but also guiding me how to write my own destiny so that I could become one of the leaders in Kampong Cham province today. In this province, I've had a lot of teachers, but in this forum, I have one of the best teachers who's joining the forum today. He is Mr. Okambi. So give him a big round of applause. And you have your own teachers too. So why don't you give your teachers a big round of applause too, even though they're not here? Your teachers. So however, the education means nothing if you don't pay attention and take on your own responsibility to get it in. You need to set your own rules and make up your own disciplines, reform your bad habits, and sharpen your grit and determination to make sure that you are on the right path of your education that will take you to the life you want. You make the future by your own, but you need to do something right on your education path, and then you'll have the power to change yourself, your family, your community, your society, and sustain peace for the children in our future. The most important things that can define your success are your attitude and your commitment in toiling to meet your own goal. And you decide how high you set your goals, and you decide how hard you're going to work for those goals, and you decide how you're going to respond when something doesn't go on your way. Here in Cambodia today, no one writes your own destiny for you, but you. It's your choice. It's your own responsibility. It's your willingness to lead yourselves to the destination of life you desire. Starting from your education, you must be more determined, more responsible, and stronger to developing this nation than those who travel before you in the past. We are the future generations that our ancestors had ever hoped for. And you are the future generations that we hope for too. The future of this country surely depends on you. You are the future educators, the future scientists, the future innovators, the future entrepreneurs, and you are the future leaders of this country. So do whatever needs to be done to lift up our national pride and pledge to our flag and remain true and united to our nation. Whatever decisions you will make for this country in the next 20 or 30 years, make sure that they're all about construction, not destruction, about hope, not fear, and about peace, not war. Cambodia, where you're living in peace at this moment, is a great place, a wonderful land of opportunity you can see, you can sense, you can take, or you can make for prospering yourself and your own country. But remember, these are hard jobs, not easy. So you'll need to get good education to ensure what you can and want to do differently to make your own future. Today, the government is constantly working very hard for all the possible ways to reform the education policies, develop new principles, and equip schools with new technology just to help you learn better. And you must play your roles on the education too. Self-study, doing your homework, reading book, and joining the student debating programs or participating the volunteer community projects development and any other tasks that intend to keep you on learning track. Whatever you do, I want you to commit to it. So set your own goal and follow your dream. Your great power is inside the education you click and hold. The greater education you have, the stronger power you get. So you decide how you're going to use that power to change your life, your family, your community, and the future, and sustain the national peace and pride to our children's children. You get what you work for, try for, not what you wish for. The future of this country depends on you. You're responsible for shaping the future of your country to the way you want it to be. And let's see the example of Samdech Techo, the Prime Minister of Cambodia. He has spent almost the whole of his life doing a lot of great hard jobs just to keep our country peaceful, secure, and prosperous. And these are the precious legacy for you, the young generations, the future leaders of Cambodia, to uphold and to develop for the future bliss of Cambodia. So make us all proud of you. Thank you so much. Best wishes.